The July 1st, 2017 reorganizational meeting of the Mount Vernon Board of Education to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Trustee McOwen.
Present.
Trustee White.
Present.
Trustee Ning.
Present.
Trustee Jaros.
Here.
Trustee Saunders.
Here.
Trustee Zamore.
Present.
Trustee Russo.
Present.
Trustee Torres.
Present.
Trustee Williams. We have a quorum present. Thank you all for joining us this evening. The first order of business this evening is the administration of the oath. Will Mr. Williams please join me in the front?
He hasn't said it yet.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Board Trustee.
of Board Trustee.
Congratulations.
Arlene, you're next.
Ms. Torres? Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully
the
discharge
duties of the office
the duties of the
of
office
School Board Trustee.
of School Board Trustee.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
School Board Trustee.
of School Board Trustee.
Congratulations. Our next order of business this evening is the election of officers for the school board for the 2017-2018 school year. I will open the floor for nominations for the office of President of the Board of Education. Trustee Jaros?
I nominate Leslie Zamore.
Are there any other nominations?
Yes. I nominate Adrian Sanders.
Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Leslie Zamore.
Second. Okay. All right. Are there other nominations? There being none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of Trustee Zamore as school board president, please say aye.
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 I see three, Trustee Jaros, Trustee Zamore, and Trustee Williams. All those in favor of Trustee Saunders as school board president, say aye.
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 I see Trustee White, Trustee Russo, Trustee Saunders, Trustee Torres, Trustee McOwen, and Trustee Ning. Congratulations, Trustee Saunders. You've been elected president of the school board for 2017. We will now accept nominations for the office of vice president of the school board for 2017-18.
I nominate Trustee Jaros.
Trustee Zamore has nominated Trustee Jaros. Zamore. Are there other nominations? Ms. Saunders.
I'd like to nominate Trustee White.
Are there other nominations? Seeing none, we shall take a vote. All those in favor of election of Trustee Rosemary Jaros as Vice President of the School Board for the 2017-18 school year, please say aye.
Aye.
Trustee Williams and Trustee Zamor. All those in favor of Trustee White as Vice President for the school board, please say aye.
Aye.
I have Trustee White, Trustee Russo, Trustee Saunders, Trustee Torres, Trustee McOwen, and Trustee Ning. Congratulations, you've been elected Vice President of the school board.
You should switch positions.
Yeah, well, first, Ms. Saunders, would you join me? Actually, you can join me back here if you want. Instead of going.
Switch seats.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the
of
office
school board president.
of School Board President.
Congratulations. Ms. White, you want to meet me in the middle?
Actually, this should be Wanda's seat after.
I can get over there.
It's officially. Wait, Rich, Wanda should be here, no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll be switching.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of School Board Vice President.
of School Board Vice President.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I can sit.
Madam President, it is officially your meeting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So, do we go into the opportunity for board members to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Would anybody like to remove anything from the consent agenda?
I just have a clarifying question. Items 9.2 through 9.7, they're just blank. I don't understand.
I'm sorry, do you want me to answer that?
Yes.
9.2 to 9.7 are just a flesh out of 9.1. Those are the people who are to be bonded by law. That's the district clerk, the district treasurer, the deputy treasurer, the district tax collector, the central treasurer, and the internal claims auditor.
Okay.
You want to clarify those items that
Oh,
were
yes.
removed from the agenda?
Yes.
Well, I thought we were just doing the reorg agenda now.
There's no other agenda now.
Item 12 is part of it now?
What is it?
Title 12.
You're saying items under number 12 are part of this consent agenda?
There's nothing there anymore.
Oh, it's been okay.
For those following at home, there were originally some resolutions listed under Section 12 called regular business meeting. Those items have been removed from the agenda tonight. The only action the board will take this evening is on the consent agenda for the reorganizational meeting of the Mount Vernon Board of Education.
Okay, so you want to move on?
I'm good.
Something else.
Lost your spot.
I lost my spot. Excuse my language. Approval of consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion for approval of consent agenda, please?
Motion.
Trustee White,
I'll second.
Trustee McOwen. All those in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
I'm in favor.
Abstain.
Trustee Williams? Abstain? Did I hear that? I heard an abstain from over here.
That was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trustee Torres is abstaining?
Can you clarify it?
So right now, the board is voting, we're at the reorganizational part of the meeting, and we are voting on the annual appointments of officers, other appointments, as well as the,
It's just the officers,
this is the whole agenda that you and I, the three of us discussed.
with the officers.
Yep, the officers, the district clerk, the
Yes, yes.
treasurer.
Treasurer.
It's helpful to remind the public anyway.
Yeah. So the agenda items that are being voted on tonight are pro forma items that the school board is legally required to take action on within the first 7 days of the calendar, of the school calendar year. It is the appointment of officers such as the district clerk, the district treasurer, the deputy treasurer. It is appointments such as the attendance officer, the Title IX hearing officer, internal auditors, as well as some other routine business, including the appointment of the health insurance companies for the school district for the upcoming school year, the workers' compensation body, as well as other routine matters that come before the board. All of it is available online at Board Docs. Yep. Yep.
Motion to approve consent agenda?
Motion.
It's already been made, right?
Yep.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
All right, so before we go on to communications from the public, we have some
Are we
public.
doing communications with the
Yeah,
public?
he has it on the,
It was a regular board meeting.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
yeah, because we had regular items.
just wanted to, we just wanted to explain why we're having the meeting at 12 o'clock, because the schedules, my schedule, superintendent's schedule, and a few other board members are planning on being out of town, and we have to have the meeting before the 10th of July by law, so this is why we had to do it at midnight.
7th of July, right?
It's fine. 7 days.
7 days?
7 days,
Okay,
yeah.
7 days, which is worse, okay. All right, so communications from the public?
Members of the public are each afforded 3 minutes at a board meeting to offer remarks, with up to 1 additional minute to be used for concluding remarks. People may register with the district clerk, that's myself, up until 4 p.m. the date of the meeting, either in person at 165 North Columbus Avenue, via phone at 914-665-5235, or via email at rmccormick@mtvernoncsd.org. Our first speaker tonight is Talbert Thomas.
Another member?
I'm sorry, the board policy does not permit that.
Okay, then I yield at this time. I have nothing to.
Thank you, sir. Our second speaker is Marilyn Sanchez. And our concluding speaker this evening is Mr. Jeff Monroe.
Everyone's sleeping.
There he is.
Oh, okay.
Good evening and good night, trustees, honorable community members, and neighbors. And officially, I'd like to, I guess, be the first to welcome trustees Williams, Torres, and Russo. Welcome aboard to public service of our children and our families. I really have 3 topics I wanted to speak to. First being the reorganization, the restructuring, sorry, of the school district itself. I was on the joint committee for restructuring back in 2013, I think it was, or 12. Either way, I remember the kind of angst that many of our community members expressed and dialogued around in terms of how we were going to look at the needs of our families, our children, with the current structure. And one of the outstanding issues right now being discussed is the closing or displacement of Mandela High and its programs. The community hasn't been, or at least my understanding is that the community hasn't been well communicated with in terms of the motive and the potential outcomes for displacing this program to BOCES. If that's a misunderstanding, we'd like more clarification. We'd also like more clarification as to how that program will maximize whatever resources are going to be available at BOCES, how transportation or other logistical challenges are going to be solved, and of course why BOCES is even a better solution than certain options that could be explored within the community, considering the distance that BOCES is going to be required if it's going to be at the Westchester campus. Again, you know, a fact I'm not clear on. We just need more clarification. The second issue is, again, one that I cannot underemphasize, because it's one that at least 3 trustees here are not necessarily familiar with, because some of us have been making this clarification, this demand really for culturally centered or African-centered education in our community. You come aboard, trustees Williams, Torres, and Russo, to a community that quite frankly is disaffected, mostly in supermajority numbers of families who are traumatized, disempowered, and in many ways disengaged from this district because of issues like lack of regard, benign neglect, sometimes malicious policy making. We'd like to see some of these things rectified through proper educational standards that meet not just the pedagogy, but also the social and other psychosocial needs of our children and their parents and their neighbors. We want to see a school district that fits the actual needs of the children and the outcomes of their education in the world today, not just to get a job or to go to university, college, etc., but to be productive members of the world that they are in and will be within the next 5, 10, 20 years. I have one last real issue that I'm going to kind of wrap into another instance that I realized coming here reflects badly on policy making. I'm a professional videographer, sound mixer, and projectionist. I serve heads of state, CEOs, Fortune 500 companies throughout Manhattan, and it seems to me that if the district is going to be properly addressing issues of communication and professional video, or we don't even stream, actually. That's actually a contradiction that I'm going to have to address, because I don't know why we can afford a 20 or whatever, how many thousands of dollars of PR firm that we purchased last year. If we can afford that kind of money for a PR firm, that I've never seen video recording any meeting or streaming any of our meetings to the public. In 2017, if you can't stream a meeting, there's really a problem in terms of disconnect between the community and the possibilities of technology. If you can't spend that kind of money, then at least spend it on something of a mult box. A mult box, M-U-L-T, short for multiple output. It is the actual output you would expect to see from multiple line feeds if more than one person videotapes your meeting.
Okay, Mr.
My problem with the contrary nature of policymaking that says nobody should use the line feed because then we would have to serve everybody seems totalitarian and backwards. So if you could find $1,000, $500, whatever it takes, to get a 20, 30 channel mult box, that would be good for the community, because at some point more than one person will want to videotape your community. And stream too, by the way.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monroe.
This, actually, I'd like to finish up with the request that I've addressed Trustee Zimmer about this. I've addressed other trustees. I'd like to know why the board itself does not appoint the city school district appointees to the city school district. I understand it's currently the responsibility, or it has been executed as the responsibility of the superintendent, who is not an elected official. I don't know why community members cannot be selected, as they are with the mayor and city council, for such an important element as the Community Cable Advisory Commission. It's actually the governing body for what will be public education governmental programming. So please explain to me at some point, as a body, why we have not really assumed that responsibility, which is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe.
I'm actually going to, Dr. Gorman, if you can just, I know you've been very intimately involved with the negotiations with BOCES, if you could speak to that, germane to Mr. Monroe's question, as the option that we have selected for the Mandela students.
Good evening. What I'll do, Mr. Monroe, is I'll make accessible the PowerPoint presentation that we did with the 3 options that we presented about 2 months ago for the students of Mandela. We took a whole board meeting and made that a public presentation that we put out there. There are 3 options for the Mandela students. One is to continue their path. One is to do a morning and afternoon, a dual program that will lead to different certificates, and then one would lead to an after 4-year process for the kids that wanted to continue into a career. I have a lot of information that I can't just recall on the spot right here for you, but before you leave, I'll actually give you a copy of that presentation because I could bring it up for you. Okay.
And if you could speak to the streaming of the meetings.
I can't right now. I'll have.
Ms. Monroe, we can have your answers at our next board meeting regarding your streaming question. Is that okay? All right.
Okay.
All right, so that's it. I mean, so, motion to adjourn?
Well, that's it.
Motion to adjourn? Can I get a second?
Sure, motion.
Are we sleeping here? Okay. Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. That's it.
Aye.
Right. Everyone have a nice holiday.
Yes, enjoy your vacation. All right.